Hey everybody!
Hey everybody.
Welcome to Big Valley Living. You know what? We've had a long day at work, but the weather's getting warmer here in the Big Valley, and we need to get our more warmer summer seeds into germinate in the house. So we have a ton of tomatoes. We'll show you those before we leave. They're outside now hardening off.
Or you can watch our previous video.
Watch our previous video, but they've already grown since then. But we'll do a little snapshot for you before we end this video, maybe do an overlay. But tonight we're doing our, JJ, what are we doing?
We're doing squash in this one and peppers in this one, probably a row of okra. We don't necessarily...
That would be for Uncle Tom Connell.
That's for Uncle Tom. And so I've already planted one, and it's the... what is that?
Peaceful Valley is the farm.
And
it's something we've never grown. It's called Ronde Denise. It looks like it says it's an ideal stuffing squash. And we'll do some overlays for you in a little bit. Looks kind of interesting, so we're just going to try a bunch of new stuff because we're going to be eating a lot of squash this summer. And why not try something new? So our typical setup is that JJ plants the seeds.
So each one of these rows is going to be a different squash. So we're going to have the early crookneck. I love crookneck squash, so that's my next row. We're going to plant the Black Beauty summer squash, which is the zucchini.
The kind of zucchini that you buy in the grocery store.
Actually, that's the dark green zucchini.
I was wrong.
Right here, and we also have that from Peaceful Valley as well. As you can tell, I like the Peaceful Valley seeds. So far this year, I'm really amazed. We have had like two non-germinates out of like 4 trays.
Oh my God, you guys, we need to have like a garage sale for plants or something. We're serious about that.
And then the Y Star summer squash. And most of these are about 50 days. It doesn't take them very long. Like this guy's 50 days. How do you say that?
I'm not really sure. Jaune et verte.
And it kind of looks like a patty pan to me, you know, but we'll find out because they're each going to have their own row here. And rounded out with the yellow straight neck squash, which is kind of the crook neck but with a straight neck.
And then we'll get into the other items in a few minutes. I'll probably just do overlays of each of the seed packets as we're planting them. We'll try something new because we're just trying to keep it fun, keep it interesting. But you know what? We haven't been video taping, okay, I'm old. We haven't been creating any videos lately because we've been busy, and we're like, that's kind of the point of what we do. Yeah. So we're like, okay, let's go get the video.
But I can't take that 3 seconds to go get the camera.
Here we are, and this is going to be a fun video. It's going to be really fun to watch them grow and everything too. So I'm going to go pause it for a second because I don't want to have to go through all of this. There's a little bit of background noise because we are making dinner, doing dishes in the dishwasher, because when you work from home you do less around the house than you would think that you would. Okay, so what JJ does is he's going to go in and he plants those seeds in usually rows of 4. And then he hands me the open packages, and I make just take a little piece of tape because this is for inside, and a Sharpie, and I write what it is, and then I will just take and fold these up. We showed you this on our radish and peas video. Just keeps the seeds from coming out because goodness knows squash seeds all look alike, and when you keep them all in the same nifty little container and they all get out, you don't know what you're gonna get. Squash surprise.
And then these get planted about 1/2 inch to an inch. So I on the side of a Sharpie right here at about where the AP is, that's about an inch. And I just push that down in there and drop the seed in, and then I just cover it up, really just like that, boom. That row's done. And then I just do that over and over and over. Of course, I look, because each one has a little bit different, 1/2 inch to 1 inch. This one says 1 inch, 1/2 inch to 1 inch. They're
all about the same.
they all have about the same parameters to plant.
And we kind of controlled ourselves this year from planting things too early by waiting. Normally we go up to Home Depot or Lowe's or something. So this is what we do. We do the name of it, and then we do the date that we actually put the seeds in the trays. So what we normally would do would be maybe, we get all excited like JoJo the Monkey Boy, and we buy all these plants when we go to Home Depot because they look so good, and then we plant squash a little earlier than you should. You should plant squash when it's a little bit warmer during the day, but more importantly in the spring, you want the nighttime temperatures not to be too cool. And we're still dipping down into the 50s here, right? It was a little hot a couple days ago, but ordinarily we're dipping into the upper 40s and 50s. But we would ordinarily just buy them at the store, put them in the ground, and then maybe not have such a great performance. And that's probably because we've been planting them too early. So we forced ourselves to wait to do the seedlings. And we're hoping that by the time they're ready to transplant, it's much warmer outside and we'll get a better yield this year. We're also planting more, what do you call them? Pollinator flowers. So we should also have more bees around to take care of business. This is Black Beauty Summer Squash.
You definitely need to have the bees. Actually, the last couple of years, our pollinations happened with wasps. Isn't that funny? Because they'll pollinate too, and they get in there and get into those flowers. Wasp does it just as good as anything. It's crazy. And notice I wait until she's done before I move to the next row. Otherwise, I'll be here and I'll be like, oh crap, which one was that?
So I wonder how many of you guys are working from home this year. And if you are you, or maybe you're retired. Lucky. Are you doing a bigger garden this year? Some of us are starting to go back to work, but a lot of us are still in that company's not sure quite what they're gonna do. And so it's gonna be nice regardless. I mean, if we worked out of the house or if we have to go back to the office, we'd still have to get up early before our shift and go out and we'd still have to get up early and go out and water. Doesn't matter really. I find that as a person working from home, I actually get up less and walk around less than when I was working in an office. It's the simplest things, even just going to wash your hands in the restroom or something, or get up and go to the copier. We don't print anymore, so we don't go to the copy room. The restroom isn't basically the length from, at work, it's the length of my house to go to the bathroom from my desk. Then you wash your hands, you have to wait in line. I just don't get up that much anymore, so you can see that. So what we're trying to do is get really, really, really busy after work.
Excuse me.
But what I'd like to know is really, if you're working from home, are you going to do a garden? Please comment. I mean, it'd be really cool to know. And if you haven't gardened before, are you doing it because of this? And just tell us, what's your experience? Are you working at home now? And
have you got a late start like us?
Have you got a late start? We did this on purpose, you silly goose.
Yeah.
But
it's just the weather's been really weird. It's really weird this year. It was 60 degrees, a couple weeks ago, and it's got to be pushing 90 right now. It's
actually
crazy.
A lot nicer outside than he thinks, but he doesn't like to open the slider.
No, it's too hot. I live in a bad place for it to be
really
too hot.
Nice outside. That's the funniest part.
Northwest boys, Northwest boys don't like the heat.
So the one you just planted was a Y-Star summer squash. And this kind of looks like a yellow patty pan. If you live like somewhere in the Midwest, we're not really sure, or Europe. If you're watching from Europe, please comment. That'd be so cool. If you live somewhere other than on the West Coast, and you grow, or you see us growing something that you've never heard of, would you please let us know in the comments? Some of these are new to us, but more writing and less talking. When we say things like patty pan squash, do you know what patty pan is? Hi, Daisy Bell and Leo outside.
I don't think I've ever said what I do for soil.
For seedlings.
For seedlings, I've tried all kinds of stuff. Getting seed, sweet seed stuff, and just using that, and then tried the seed stuff with a little bit of peat moss in it. And tried that with vermiculite and perlite, all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just back to where I'll just buy whatever the peat the potting soil is. I just get that, and I do about a 2 or 3 to 1 potting soil to worm castings. Boom, into the thing it goes. And then I get it about wet enough so you can squeeze it together and it doesn't fall apart. This I got a little bit hot, a little bit wet, but that's okay.
Why don't you
It's
go
got
ahead
to
and,
germinate the seed anyway.
since we're here, go ahead and just pick up a little bit of that and show them like the difference between too wet.
Yeah, this is a little too wet. You can see it will kind of stand up, right? You could probably squeeze water out of that. And this,
It'll still be okay.
It kind of gets a little crumbly, but it'll hold its shape. Just that one will do it for a lot longer.
So I'm gonna hold one up that you haven't really messed with. So you can still see a little bit of light brown in there on that one. That's okay. And then these are flat out black. This is the exact same mixture, but just had a little bit too much water. But you know what? It's so dry here that within a couple of days, that's gonna evaporate in our what would you call it? Seedling room.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and show you that too pretty soon because you want to see our little setup. So anyway, he's gonna carry on. Okay, so now we have early yellow straight neck squash. So this is crookneck squash, which is a yellow squash. Crookneck has like a gooseneck on it. That's what I would think of whenever I think of any yellow squash. But now we have all kinds of new varieties coming out. And so this looks kind of like a zucchini in a way, right? That's yellow.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a little bit of a stronger flavor than zucchini, and they're really nice mixed with zucchini. And more writing again. JJ swears that I have to write because we wouldn't be able to read it.
If you want to read it, give me a computer, I can do it for you.
Always wanted to be a first grade teacher. That's actually why we do YouTube, because we want to impart knowledge that we've gained over the years, not only to this whole community, but it's a good way to preserve what we do for our grandchildren and our children and their friends and everything, and our friends and family as well. And you know, we've got family and friends all over, from Michigan, Indiana, Maryland, Auntie Chris in Plymouth, Massachusetts. We've got lots of family now in Florida, and then Kansas, up to Washington and Idaho, and some relatives in Southern California. My sister-in-law Wendy down in Peru, Nevada. So
Leo.
she'll have to come here for the veggies. Hi, Wendy. And anyway, I mean, they're scattered all over, all different places. So this is a neat way for us to show them kind of what we're doing, and then also for our new family and friends that watch our show that want to just kind of follow along. And if you don't garden, you can live vicariously through Big Valley Living.
And the best part is
Is that
learning
you
from
can
you.
like and share.
And learning from you.
I'm just kidding.
Because we don't know everything. We're just a couple people that throw stuff out in our backyard in the dirt. And, you know, you learn as you go along. You fail a lot. You win a lot, but you also fail a lot. And you don't get anywhere without trying, so.
And even though there are guidelines for gardening, you don't have to, I mean, you want to follow your guidelines for like last frost date, obviously. And you don't want something that can't take full sun all day in the shade, or vice versa. But don't be afraid to say, hey, it's May, it's too late for me to plant tomatoes. It's never too late. You know, we planted our peas that were seedlings. We planted the seedlings in November in the house. We put them out in January, which we thought might be too late here. And we ended up getting, I've never grown peas, he's never grown peas. We ended up getting a total of about 12 cups of peas after you shell them. And we also found out that shelling peas is kind of therapeutic. And don't discount that. There's a lot to going out to the garden and watching little tiny things grow, and then watching them become a full-grown plant, and then picking them, sitting down and relaxing, and just enjoying kind of like maybe what all of our ancestors may have done just 50 or 60 years ago as a matter of everyday life. It kind of connects us to those folks, or 100 years ago. And don't lose sight of that. There's a value in connecting with the people that you see in pictures that you may have never even known before, because you are still part of them and you wouldn't be here without them.
So this is I don't know if it's the right kind, but it's the jambalaya okra there, Uncle Tom.
We're hoping that these make it through and that we can pickle some peppers for Uncle Tom at the family reunion this summer. So this is all about you, Uncle Tom. And I have two Uncle Toms, Uncle Tommy Connell and Uncle Tom Jordan. And I'm not going to sing any Beatles song for Uncle Tom Jordan, but you know I love you. Okay, okra.
And I probably won't have to water these until they go outside, or before they go outside, because we won't let them get too big here, because it's going to start warming up, and it'll be warm at night, and I'll be able to put these outside and just let them keep going. I'll put this in there.
Don't waste your seeds. Oh, and you know what? If you bought seeds this year and you don't use them all, don't throw them away. They'll probably work next year and maybe for years to come.
They're good for years to come.
Keep them dark. Keep them covered up like this, you know. We keep our seed, what do you call those big things? Seed cases in a dark, cool closet in a room that it's an office. And so it's pretty cool in there. We close the door, and we actually just have it's a small closet. We've designated it as the garden closet. So it's pretty cool. Oh my God. Okay, this is so exciting. I can't wait to take the pictures of these.
Not all of it will be peppers.
We have one eggplant, but oh my gosh, you guys, we grow a rainbow of bell peppers here, and it's super fun because, you know, it's good to do a stuffed pepper with a thick-walled pepper like a green or a yellow or something, but
I'm gonna do 2 rows of the green pepper.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
But what we like to do is, like, there are these purple peppers that are so good. And so we just use those, like we make some homemade hummus, or the dip we make, the pepper dip and stuff that we make with the yogurt. It's kind of like a light dip, and that's really, really good for a summertime snack without getting all the carbs from a cracker.
So peppers are about a 1/4 inch deep. I don't know what this eggplant is. It's 1/4 inch too. So all of these will get planted about 1/4 inch, which is pretty much nothing. So we'll be doing Anaheims, jalapenos, and the purple bell that she was talking about earlier, and the California Wonder yellow one, and then we have the California Wonder green bell pepper, and then the eggplant. So that'll
go
fill
pause.
us out.
I guess we could be talking.
Could.
You know what, we're trying different things, and with our videos, we're very early on in our little YouTube foray here. What's this, like probably our 23rd video total?
23rd or 24th.
Honestly, the folks that watch this, especially early on, you know, do you like just kind of having a chat and we're chilling and we're doing our thing and we're talking and asking questions? Or, you know, do you want to get straight down to business? Let us know, please, in the comments. We're sort of trying to find that happy medium that holds your interest but doesn't go overboard, because there's a lot of folks we like to watch on YouTube, and honestly, I'll be watching and flipping through and I'm like, okay, well, I can give them 15 or 20 minutes, but ooh, that one's 45 minutes long, or oh my god, an hour and a half. Sorry, I like you, but not that much. And it's not a bad thing, but your feedback will help us to make it good. And even if you're just a family member and you want to watch it, hey, you can only take so much if you can't go back and forth, right?
Now this will be the real test for Peaceful Valley, because every seed in here, with the exception of the jambalaya okra there, is from them, and I'm only putting 1 seed per. If you want it,
I'm sorry. What did we plant from them before? Because every single seed germinated.
half the tomatoes.
And the radishes, my radish harvest, it's weird, was low because every seed germinated and I didn't get out there and sniff them down or anything and select them. So these seeds are really so good that I'd rather have no plant in something than to have too many plants in each seed.
So we're not affiliated with them yet in any way.
But if we have 100 subscribers, we hope to. So subscribe.
So their website is groworganic.com, and they're really nice folks. We've driven up there and talked with them. They're super nice, and you know, they've had to deal with all of this stuff for the past year as well as all of us have. And you know, a little bit of business their way probably help. But like I said, we're not affiliated with them at all. But I really just think they're awesome.
Are we gonna cage our peppers this year?
The peppers, yes, because yeah, you'll see in some videos coming up. This year, I'm not caging tomatoes. That's not happening again. Because what happens?
Pull them out of the ground. It's
what
ridiculous.
happens is they get as tall as I am.
We have to get the tin snips out to free the tomatoes.
And so this year, I'm going to try driving 2 T-posts in at each end and put an 8-foot piece of hog wire in there for a hog panel, and have the tomatoes, have 4 or 5 tomatoes in that, and grow them up that, and maybe go 18 to 20 plants on those trellises. And we'll see how it goes, but I'm not doing tomato cages anymore. Tomato cages will be for peppers, because the peppers outdo the pepper cages too. So this will be an experiment. Nothing wrong with that.
Which is what gardening is. And one of the reasons that we're, you know, we do a lot of cooking shows. We're trying to do a healthy balance. We haven't done any canning yet because we're afraid to jump off of that high dive in front of people. But the reason we're showing you all this is that actually we're going to be canning and eating and sharing all of these vegetables that we're growing this year all summer long. So we figured that it would be a lot more fun to show you us planting the seeds, and then here in what, 5 months or three months probably, we'll start harvesting the peppers, just so that you can kind of see, oh yeah, I remember we planted those seeds, and oh my
Probably
God,
just
gosh,
be in
we're
2
having a
months.
good time. But you know, when we start harvesting them and everything, you can go back like we are and say, oh, I remember when those were just seedlings. Go ahead.
You're gonna write it?
What is it?
It was the black
Oh,
or the purple, right?
Sweet
Oh.
Purple Beauty. Sweet.
Hold on, I want to make sure. Oh yeah, the jalapeno was there. Okay. Yeah,
This
that's
isn't a
that one.
jalapeno.
I know. I
Okay.
was checking to make sure that I didn't mess it up, but
There's nothing worse than a surprise pepper. That happened to us a lot last year. We would go to the big box stores or even the small businesses, and we got plants like, we got cherry tomatoes. We thought we were getting yellow pears. We love yellow pear. Cherry tomatoes are great when you're snacking in the garden, and my sister-in-law Shar loves them, and they're just sweet and really good. So anyway, we bought a couple of those thinking that'd be really cool. And then we grow them and we ended up with these really weird cherry tomatoes. They were good, but we didn't get any yellow pear tomatoes. That's kind of disappointing.
I think that the seed marker was dipping a little.
So that's when we started buying seeds. It wasn't really about the shortage last year as much as we wanted to know that we were getting the plant that we were hoping to get. And then we kind of went crazy. So this is going to be a lot of fun this year. We always plant way too much. Neighbors and friends always end up kind of
Reaping the
benefiting.
benefit. That's fine.
Co-workers, but now that we don't go to work at the office all the time, you know, I don't know what to say. Maybe we'll have a little, maybe we'll make a little stand out front or something for the weekends. So, what was that one? Oh,
That's your job, babe.
less talking.
Yeah, that's right. Less talking. Less talking, more writing. And then I'll need 2 of that one.
Hi, Leo. Okay, so these are the Sweet Cow Wonder.
Yep. Then maybe put green or something just so we know. Because they're.
Oh, we have yellow, huh?
Yeah.
It's not
Leo.
easy being
Leo.
green.
Leo,
I
stop.
think a frog sang that song some time
Leo,
ago.
stop.
There you go. Leo, oh my God, Mr.
Settle down, Ferocious.
We're not really good about talking and working. Well,
Have to
I'm
mind
not.
meld.
I'm good about talking. I'm good about working my work, but I'm not good at both. Okay. Oh, didn't even have to open that one.
No.
Hey! Maybe when we hit our 100th subscriber, they can win these Sweet Cow Wonder green bell peppers. Woo! Share this with your friend.
Oh, stop begging.
Just kidding.
That's
Just
for later.
kidding. Okay. Like tomorrow we'll have 500,000 subscribers because everybody wants that $3.50 bag of peppers. Black Beauty eggplant. This is for me because because JJ doesn't like eggplant,
No, but I'll grow them.
but I do. But what we don't like is baba ganoush.
No.
We really like dips, but baba ganoush, if you have one that doesn't taste slimy, if you have a recipe for one that isn't slimy, let us know, because I tried it last year and
It was gross.
not a fan. We know it's good for us, but that's just one that I can't take. There you go. So, I guess it's time for us to get ready to sign off.
I'll go run these in there.
Well, hold on a second. Let's say goodbye to everybody.
Okay.
So, again, these are the peppers and the squash and a little bit of eggplant and okra. And we're planting them on April 20th. This video may take a couple of days to get out because I'm going to take some stills and do some overlays, which is sort of a new thing for us. But we'll probably have them in the ground in the next 6 weeks, you think? We might
Yep.
have to create beds for them because
I probably have to create
we have
beds for
a
it.
ton
Because
of
really, I don't
vegetables.
have a room for any of this right now. So apparently, there's going to be a lot of tilling going on. But that's fine.
I think we might be renting a bobcat.
No, that ain't happening. But it's fine. I think we should hold on and we should show them what I do from here out there.
Okay, so we're not done yet. Hang on. All right, so we have moved the camera into our fan cave / man cave. Note the Carlson 89 jersey from the Seattle Seahawks. We are not ashamed of being Seattle
Oh
Seahawks
Lord.
fans.
Okay, so moving on. So I apply cinnamon when I have seedlings and I have moisture and all that kind of stuff, because you get these little white flies, gnats, that will like ruin your seedlings. So they don't like this. So you don't have to put a whole bunch on. Just a little, enough of a deterrent. And since this is a little bit wet, I really want to get it on there. But, not crazy. Just a little bit here and there. A little bit on each one though. And it'll also help with the mold a little bit. But
How many shelves did we have of lights going a few weeks ago when we had
we
the
had
flowers?
three. We had
Okay.
three.
So we're gonna have one shelf right now until these get going, and then we may graduate them down below the shelf that he actually is working on right now.
So I have these VivoSun heat mats. Definitely game changer for making seedlings.
Oops.
This is the 10 by 20, so it fits a tray perfectly.
Oh yeah, we have those trays too to keep them warm. When it-
Actually, more to hold the moisture than anything.
Oh, okay. But also, it's getting to the point where we get really cold at night. We get really hot at night, so we turn the air conditioner on. So these poor little seedlings are going to need to stay a little bit warmer than the Carlsons want to be at night. when they're trying to
Yes.
sleep.
So this is where they'll be, and with this one I could do it right now. This one I'm going to let this get a little less moist. This one here is about perfect. So I'll just take and put this guy on there.
It won't be touching the actual lights when he's done.
Well, it'll touch the lights right now because they're not going to be on. So I just do that. It'll keep the moisture in there and help it germinate. And it's going to be like 3 or 4 days, and they'll start germinating. I'll rip that off.
So we're going to go ahead and finish putting cinnamon on the eggplant and the peppers, and then we'll see you in a minute.
So Shaw and I were just discussing things, and these are heat mats. So this will heat up the soil, because in order for it to germinate, typically, depending on what it is, it needs to be, let's say, 50 to 80 degrees. So this will get it up to about 85 or so, and the plants will definitely germinate.
So they don't need light right
They
now
don't need
because
light
they're
at all.
underneath the soil anyway.
So once they start to germinate and start poking up, I'll take this off, and then they're not going to have so much moisture in there. And if it depends on how the weather's doing. Once they're all germinated, I may take and just move them right straight outside instead of going through the exercise of getting them big, taking them out, bringing them in to harden them off.
But if we do need time to prepare beds that we have yet to even break ground
That's
on,
right. Then I'll move them down to this.
then we'll keep
and
them
turn
in
the
this
light on.
indoor nursery a little bit, and then when we know that we're pretty close to it, that's when we'll go out and harden them off. And we'll
right.
go through that process with you guys. You're gonna see these seedlings from planting until they go into the ground, and if there's anything in between, we'll let you know. It'll be a much shorter video. And then once they get planted, we'll show you. And then we'll just go out and do garden tours and show you where we are. And once we start getting fruit, we'll show you what we do with them.
And it's really crazy. Inside of here, this will be totally wet in there. It'll have,
Condensation.
Well, yeah, it'll have condensation, but it'll be dripping. It's just crazy because this isn't that wet, but it gets warm, and so it creates that perfect environment to get those seeds going. Go ahead.
You want me to talk? Wow.
You can.
Okay, yay, he wants me to talk. Oh my gosh, you
I didn't
guys,
say
it's
that, you
such
did.
a nice night outside right now. It cooled down, we have a breeze and a fire engine. Whoa.
Yay.
Anyway, we thought, we'll plant 3 tomato seeds in each pot in case only one germinates. And now I didn't count them, but honest to God, we have at least 50.
Well, we have four,
It's so funny.
we have 4 trays 18, so yeah.
That's 72. 72. So we won't be planting 72 tomatoes, but we're going to see how many we can plant. But anyway, I'm going to pull one of these transplants up. We had to break them up. Look at how awesome that is. So we're super excited about, all these tomato plants that we're getting ready to put into the ground, and not only having nice slicer tomatoes and everything, but canning them. Canning is a big deal. And anyway, it seems like a good way to end this episode, if you will, or segment.
Well, thanks for stopping by, everybody, and you know the drill.
Come along with us though on this journey, because it really is fun. And look back at some of those things, and please comment to us. Does gardening connect you with your ancestors, or is it something new to you and you're super interested in doing it, and you're laying the fabric for maybe future generations in your own family? What's your motivation? It is interesting, and all gardeners have that in common, that passion to start something from seed or a small plant and watch it grow. What's your favorite part of gardening? This is a great conversation starter, and this is a super way to let your mind just wander. Gardening is super, super rewarding in many ways.
Thanks for coming by Big Valley Living. See you later, everybody.
Bye. Be kind.